So cool story. We just did a whole bunch of stuff and Brian realized the mic wasn't on. So, again, welcome back to another YouTube video from your friends at Tray 5 Customs. And we're gonna turn these videos into weekly videos now. Won't start probably, we'll see if we can, well actually we will start right away because Frank, Hector, and I are leaving for Sema tomorrow. So we want to get this video out so that we can do a video post a video while we're at Sema. But then next week is Dino's. But Brian usually comes down and films the open house.
I'll be here.
But maybe we'll get him to film like a pre-open house thing, like us getting ready for the open house, so we can release that the weekend of Dino's for all you unfortunate folks that can't make it to Dino's. And then after that,
I have a video guy who can record you guys at Dino's a little bit.
There we go. So we're going to start this right now. We're going to start 1 week videos.
All right.
One a week.
I'm going to invoice you that up price now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Invoice me for whatever you want, dude. We're just made of money over here. You can tell by the size of our shop and like our conference room and yeah, our break room, our secret speakeasy that nobody knows about that's here, and you know, our engine storage in the bathroom. You can tell we're just rolling in it, dude. The semi truck that's parked out back. Have you seen the semi truck? Anyway, before we get in the shop, I wanted to show you, we have 2 new shirts for Dino's. One of them is on me right now. So we did one for my dually. And then first, peep the shirt storage. Like, whoever thought of file cabinets on wheels? It's a pretty smart guy. Anyway, this is the other new shirt that we have for Dino's. Or just, you know, debuting at Dino's. This is Aaron Reed's 59 Apache patina truck. The patina ones are always fun to do on shirts because you know, have to design patina in something you can print. So anyway, there's the front of that. And then, so basically you got dually shirt and that shirt, new for Dino's. And then we have a whole bunch of hats. Where's the super new? We have a very limited amount of these, but these are kind of cool. We had RJ. I told you in the last video we're gonna get with RJ and do some hats. So we got like a filigree looking thing. What else we got? We got a wood grain. We've got more wood grain. That's supposed to be gold. It's ish gold. It's brushed gold. But that paired with the dually. Yeah. And then we have, what else we got? We got American flag on a red hat. And we have American flag on a black hat. There you go. That's all we have of those. Plenty of other embroidered ones. Some leftover badge hats from years ago. Just since we're doing this and we're taking the time, you know, some cool ones. What else we got for the ladies? We got the pink, or if you're a guy that likes pink. If you're a guy that isn't afraid to not get dirty, we have white hats. Anyway, it's not why you're here. We're gonna have shirts and hats. We're gonna have tailgate latch kits and trunnions, and we're gonna have the tailgate assist shocks, like the slowdown shocks. We have a good stock of those right now that we don't really advertise much of, but we do have them in stock. And we will have those at Dino's. Look at this. This goes this way. And Mr. Chris whipped this up for our door, because our door gets jacked up all the time. So that's gonna be a new kick plate for the door. I'm gonna take it and get it powder coated. So hopefully that's on before Dino's weekend and our open house. You see that editing? All right, out in the shop, we have the Pio-mobile. Kind of feel like at this point, if you've been following us for a while, you just know that Hector is gonna cram a whole bunch of work into like 3 days before an important show. He's owned this truck for, I don't know how long he's owned it, but it's been at his parents' house for 13 years. And he decided like 3 weeks before Dino's that he's gonna get it running and driving and going up and down and buy a second set of wheels because he already bought a first set of wheels for it. So anyway, some of you may recognize this truck if you've been around for a while. It used to have 30s on it and hydraulics, and whoever owned it went to jail, I think. So it got repoed. Don't know the whole story, but somewhere along those lines, so we got it running already. He built the world's largest gas tank for it, 40-something gallon gas tank for some reason. Got rid of the hydraulics, did a Michigan Metalworks front kit on it, built his own rear kit, basically used the mounts that were on here. This truck was stripped, so it had no front suspension, no rear suspension, no axle, no hydraulics, no gas tank, no nothing. So just trying to get it back and moving again. We'll see, because he's going to Sema tomorrow too. So, lot to do in a short amount of time. So your normal scheduled activities. This is Larry's truck. We have the Snowden seats in it now. So those are all mounted. We have one-piece windows. Watch how good this door shuts. You ready? You're gonna watch how nice this door shuts. One-piece windows, flush glass. This is not what you think it is. It's actually a different company. State 48 got us this glass and put it in for us. We're waiting on the bed. It's about done being polished next door, and then I'm gonna bed line the bottom of it in a color match bed liner. Then it can go on, but it is a running, driving vehicle at this point. Everything is plumbed, everything is wired, except for taillights. We had Frank paint the grille around the headlight, and then this bottom piece is normally chrome. This is normally black, so we had him paint that. We've got a aluminum AF grille from Engineered Vintage. And then it's pretty under the hood too, wherever the hood release thing is. There it is. Super quiet shocks. Buttoned up everything under the hood, so we've got the valve covers or coil covers on now. All this stuff's polished. Obviously needs a good cleaning, but it's getting there. You want to hear it again? Microphone picking that up. In the back of the shop, you've seen it a bunch of times, so we're not going to show you again, but it's Chris's El Camino. It's done. Waiting on tags and registration so he can put some miles on it. And then it's got to get buffed because the paint's a little rough. But it's done. Just need miles on it. It's got a tiny little power steering leak that we're trying to chase. Other than that, it's all good. So this is Carlos's K5 Blazer. This is sitting on a Rev B chassis. Basically, this was a running, driving truck when it came in, but he wanted to change the chassis. So it was on a factory chassis. It's now on an aftermarket Rev B chassis. It's still a leaf sprung truck, but nicer shocks, nicer leaf springs, obviously, Curry axles. But as far as like the engine goes, this is the LT engine that came in it. So this is a Gen 5 LT. It's backed by a 4L70 transmission. And then the one thing he did want to upgrade on the drivetrain is we went to an Atlas 3-to-1 2-speed transfer case. With the engine, we changed the oil pan out to give us more clearance. And then we also changed out the pulley setup for this Billet Specialties one. And we kind of rerouted some of the AC lines here. I didn't want to get crazy with the firewall. This is just meant to be a driver. They're going to do some paint work on it next door, but we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. So just trying to make it a nice running, driving K5 Blazer. So a lot of work, but won't really change the looks a whole ton. Like these are the same wheels that it came in on. Tim's 67 C10. The bed is off. It's next door. It's going in a direct metal primer. We're 90% done with the bed. All we have left to do is to figure out what we're going to do in that rear opening. So we sent it over to there so that they can get it epoxy primed or DTM primed. I think it's, Chris, which one's first? What? Epoxy is the direct metal? Epoxy is direct metal. So they're doing the epoxy or DTM primer over there. That way at the open house, when people are touching it and everything, it doesn't get all the oils and greasy stuff on it. Under hood, what Chris is working on right now is we're gonna build some filler panels. We're gonna cover this up, and then it's gonna step up, and it's gonna cover the radiator, and it's gonna come over here and cover up the filters. So, and it'll be like Manny's truck where we'll put like a pop pin in the corners, and then we'll just be able to pop this whole thing off. That way you can access radiator, coolant overflow, get to your filters, whatever you want. Rev B chassis, Bear brakes, big Bear brakes. These are the 16-inch ones. These are AG luxury wheels or avant-garde wheels. We do have a 2412 in the rear, which is different for us. We've done that twice now, I think. Usually if we're gonna do 24s, we go to like a 15 or keep it simple and do a 2410, which is what the Suburban behind it has. So as usual, the common theme here is Rev B chassis, 67 front end Suburban. Yes, I know they didn't make Suburbans in 67, but this is a 67 front end. So we've got the Heart Fab panels in here. Got those all fit, shaved the top of the radiator. So the nice thing, what we've been doing is welding inner and outer fenders together. Like this one has it, Larry's has it, I think. This one has it too, but we've talked to Josh over at Heart Fab a few times about this area. And we like to get the wheel out a little bit further. So what he did on this one is he just left it long, and then we chopped it and filled it when we welded it to the fender. So a little bit more clearance there. This is a Wagner, like 700 horsepower engine. Don't be confused by the little plate on there. It's not getting a turbo. That's just part of that intake. So, in process. Next thing for this will be getting the rear end sheet metal all done. Sorry about how loud it is. Let's go over here. Oh, it's nicer. Over here, not much has changed. We could talk about all these boxes. These are all Ultimate headers. So we worked alongside Ultimate headers and Rev B chassis to develop a nice fitting and symmetrical header. So the whole point that I wanted to establish with this header was to have both the collectors exit in the same exact spot. So a lot of times there'll be one's more forward or backward than the other. Sometimes one's higher, lower than the other. I wanted them both to be same height, same distance back, and same everywhere. Same width apart. So like from the frame rails, a lot of times you have like one that's an inch away and one that's 2 inches away. I wanted both collectors the same distance away from the frame rails, the same height, and the same distance front to back. Took us like a year to get there, but we're there. So now we have TJ's, Preston's, David Chavez, Carlos's 50 Chevy, and one set for Manny, because Manny already has a set on Gen 1 Blazer, so we're gonna see if we wanna use those or if we wanna order these. Anyway, Juan's Chevy. This is the one that the chassis is currently at Sema. So Scott took the chassis, Scott with Rev B, took the Rev B chassis up to Sema, dropped it off in the Prismatic Powders booth on Sunday. We're gonna head up there tomorrow and see it. But this is the body that goes on that chassis, and it needs to go over to Frank next door and get body and paint. So sitting here waiting for Frank. Some of the parts that we took off of the Blazer that we're not sure if we're gonna use or not, pay no attention. Showed you shirts earlier today. This is Aaron's 59 Apache. This is one of the shirts that, one of the trucks that we decided to use for a shirt. So that's that one. There's the dually one. So next week when we get back, the dually's going over to Frank so he can do a polish on it. And we'll finally get the sticker off the window and clean it up, and it'll look all nice and presentable. This one's getting detailed before the show, and then all the work we did on the 54. And we'll make it look different than it looked last week. Look, you can't chop the top, dude. You can't even fit a box in here. If we chop the top, it won't fit. I would love to tell you that we're gonna work on that, but we're probably not. Up top, Premier street rods, first gen Blazer body, waiting on the chassis. that we should be a couple months away on. So after the first year, we'll get going on that thing, which is cool because right around the same time, we'll have the Gen 1 chassis. So we'll have to figure out which one we're going to work on, or if we're going to work on both. Transmissions galore. I didn't do it. That's it. Thanks for watching. This video is going to be posted probably Thursday or Friday. We'll be at Sema, but for those of you guys that can't make it to Sema, you'll have a video to watch. For those of you that are making it to Sema, Frank and myself, along with James and sometimes Hector, will be walking around together. So come see us, say hi. Only vehicle we have there is that chassis. And then next week, we have Dino's Get Down. Our open house is Thursday, November 13th. We are in Peoria, Arizona, right off 91st Avenue, in between Northern and Olive. Just look for the trucks. 5:30, don't come earlier. We say this every year. I feel like I had to say it less this year. Don't show up at 3, don't show up at noon, don't show up at 9 a.m. Show up about 5:30. Give the other people in this complex some respect. They have their own businesses. They usually close around 5. Most of the people that have been in here for a while, they know what we're doing. Just don't piss them off. And don't sneeze behind the camera. Then we'll be at Dino's all day Friday, all day Saturday. Brian's gonna sneeze. It really looks like he's gonna sneeze behind the camera. We'll be at Dino's all day Friday, all day Saturday. And then the following weekend after that, we're still working out the details, but we are signed up to do Good Guys in Scottsdale. So if for some reason you can't make Sema, and a really weird reason you can't make Dino's, but you can be in Scottsdale for Good Guys, we'll be there the following weekend. So our next 3 weekends are slam packed. Anyway, thanks for watching. Big announcement. Thanks Bear Brakes. So now Bear Brakes is going to sponsor this. So at the beginning of the video, you may see a little Bear Brakes logo or something. So I want to give a huge shout out to Bear Brakes for helping us out with this channel, which means you guys get a video every week now. So channel's grown decent enough. We've got decent numbers now, so enough people are watching. Makes sense to partner with Bear Brakes because Bear Brakes, Bear Brakes, Bear Brakes, Bear Brakes. Everything in here is Bear Brakes. So just made sense partnership-wise. So maybe there'll be a video here and there that kind of goes more in depth about that and why we use what we use, and we'll highlight them some more. But for now, there's a logo somewhere in the beginning of the video, and that's why. So thanks, Bear Brakes. Thanks for all you guys for watching. We wouldn't have a sponsor if we didn't have viewers like you. So first and foremost, thanks everybody for watching. See you on the next one. Okay, extra video credit. You want to see something cool? Come on. So it's 99%, it's all vehicles around here, but sometimes we get to do cool stuff for like really expensive houses. So every once in a while we get to do some cool stuff that's not truck related. This is for a big house up in Prescott, Arizona, where these are all post bases that a 12 by 12 rough sawn timber is going to go into. So there's 10 of these throughout the house. This is a 1/2 inch plate, 16 inch by 16 inch 1/2 inch plate. These are 2 feet tall, 9 inches wide, and a post is going to sit in here. So I had to design these where we can bolt both ways and the bolts won't interfere. They're all keyed, which you can barely see. That way I can put these together, make them plumb, weld them out. But we got Laramie welding them because Laramie used to do some structural welding. And it's no joke welding the 1/2 inch steel. So this will get another pass over it too. So not all trucks and cars and stuff all the time. You missed it yesterday because we built some stuff yesterday for my house. Those are at powder coat already. Anyway, there's your bonus footage. See you later again.